Do you ever look over at Danielo's working out and wondering if he can potentially get back out there with you guys?
I mean, he's working hard. He doesn't seem to miss any time I watch him shoot, and so I know he's working towards it. And it's good to see him moving around and doing things that we're used to seeing Gallo do.
What are you looking for from this team over the final 8-9 games of the season? What type of habits do you want to see established to know that you're going to be playoff ready when it's time?
We're just going to just keep improving. 8-9 games. Try to go in healthy, but just work on the things that we've been working on all year and things that we know we're going to see during the playoffs.
How big a priority is the number one seed? Is that something that's still focused upon, or are there bigger goals?
I mean, if we get the 1 seed, it's cool. If we don't, then it's the same. We didn't have it last year. And so we just want to be playing the best basketball going into the playoffs, and whether we're 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter.
There are a couple articles come out recently, Jaylen talking about living in Boston, some of the challenges he's faced, things like that. Did you guys kind of hear about that and some of the news that are starting to roll around him in recent days, and just how have you kind of gotten to know him and some of his passions and things that are important to him off the court?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a little bit of it. I didn't see the whole quote and article about it, but I mean, I've loved being his teammate. Smart guy, deep thinker, so it's been cool just to pick his brain and just learn more about him, learn from how he's grown up, and I've loved being his teammate.
What are some of the ways you picked his brain, kind of things you guys talk about together?
I mean, I think our first conversation was about Pac-12 basketball and just why he picked Cal. I didn't know he was from Atlanta at the time, and so I was like, Cal is kind of weird. I just assumed he was a West Coast guy, but just how he picked Cal and the reasons behind that, and just stuff like that. We just grown from there.
In regard to Jaylen's situation with the fan base and more generally, how do you go about dealing with negativity from your own fan base? You expect to hear it perhaps from other fans, but how do you deal with negativity when it's coming from your fan base?
Yeah, I mean, you try to block it out. Obviously, there's a lot of fans that treat us well, and there's obviously people that say things that they probably wouldn't say if it wasn't for Twitter or whatnot. So try to just block it out. Understand even the good and the bad. It could go bad either way. So I understand that deep down they say what they say, but it doesn't affect the work you put in or the passion that you have for this sport.
How do you see Grant kind of get back to himself over the West Coast trip you guys were on?
Yeah, I mean, just does what Grant does. I think especially last game, just doing all the little things, getting that offense rebound off a free throw or dive on the floor, just little things like that, which were big plays for us. And I mean, even against Utah, 7-3. So he does a lot of little things for us, and it's nice to have him.
After the finals, there's a lot of talk about the grind and how you guys were kind of tired at that point. How do you feel going into the postseason in terms of how you've been able to manage rest this year, and do you feel as though, particularly for a guy like Jason and Jaylen have carried big weight, that they're in a good place, and you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in a good place. They look like they're in a good place. Me personally, I feel good. I'm ready to go, and I mean, the postseason, a whole nother season on its own, is a different type of grind, and I think we're all prepared for it.
I saw Jaylen brought you out at their show. How'd that come together?
I played in the Celebrity All-Star game with Jid, and then ever since then, we've been pretty close and talking from time to time, so I really just knew Jid, and then I met Smino at the concert, so I mean, they were both amazing. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks, Derrick.
Thanks very much.